What's up, witches? This is your 13 moons, 13 runes full moon ritual with the Coven, the silver cord. Just gonna be kind of going through this as best I can. I have had a rough Mercury retrograde. Literally left me with a broken finger and a black eye. It was very, Limity Snicket's series of unfortunate events for me, but, it really did work out in my favor in the end, oddly enough. It's usually how it goes. The hardest things in life teach us the greatest lessons and bring us the most growth. What's the saying? You know, where you crack is where the love gets in, where the love gets out. So, here we are. We're setting up this month. The full moon is in Gemini. I'm doing this ritual on the 13th this month because that is also when the Gemini meteor shower peaks. So I'm trying to fill on the full moon energy in Gemini with that meteor shower, which is, you know, shooting stars are all about wish fulfillments. I'm just setting up here. I tell everybody you can use the most basic stuff. I'm just filling up my little bowl here with some salt. Table salt is fine. All salt is sea salt. It was all from the ocean at some point. Just sometimes land rises. That's where you get the mountain salt from. You're going to go ahead and light your charcoal to get us started here. Remember fire safety. I have a fire extinguisher under my desk. I would suggest that all witches get one. So with the full moon in Gemini, it's going to be at 20 degrees by the time the 13th comes around, and this is all about bringing balance. Balance of spirit and balance of self here with this ritual. And this is going to be about releasing things that are weighing us down. So, with all the aspects that are playing in the moon, we have Saturn, Venus, and Pluto in a trine this month. So, with Saturn, it brings a control of self and strength and patience. So having strength to have patience and control yourself, that is the energy Saturn's bringing to this trine. With it is going to also be bringing Venus. So with having strength and patience with those around us, that is really opening us up to that love and abundance frequency that Venus brings in. And Pluto is the final aspect of this trine, and that is all about psychic perception and rebirth. You've been working all year on really growing spiritually and reaching a new place vibrationally. And if you've been doing this work, then you should be able to be listening to your intuition, even when it leads you into a little bit of trouble. I mean, that's just how it rolls in this dimension. Jupiter is a big influence too, and it's going to be transitioning into Capricorn, where it's going to be for a couple of years. So this is all going to be new levels of tolerance and new levels of expansion. You know, Capricorn is the old grumpy goat of the zodiac, and it represents a very old, mature, masculine energy. So this is what we're going to be rolling into with Jupiter. This month is the snow moon. It's the hunger moon. It's the moon where a lot of us are left feeling cold and hungry for more of whatever it is you've been searching for. Going to be using a black candle, the absence of all colors, because this is going to be not trying to feed off anybody else's energy. This is going to be all about manifesting your own personal energy. So this is clearing. That's what the black candle's for, absence of all colors. We're going to be using snow obsidian, which is all about balance and balancing self and spirit and grounding into self. It has the rune flight on it. And flight is for movement and also connection with spirit. And it's about releasing control to take flight. So it's like a hot air balloon. In order to take off from a hot air balloon, not only do you need the energy turned up in the heat to rise the balloon off the ground or get the basket off the ground, you also have to cut some of those sandbags free and release some of this weight everybody's been carrying onto them, especially into the holiday seasons. We tend to just drag all this guilt for all these things that have happened throughout the year while we have been intolerant of everybody. And while we've been going through this growth and while we've been shifting our energy, and, you know, a lot of people haven't understood that. This is all about letting that go and forgiving not only yourself and forgiving them for how this has gone down. You're allowed to change. And some people are allowed to not change. That's not your path to decide. So that is a hard lesson everybody learns when they start raising themselves vibrationally. For the herbs, I'm using cedar. Cedar is good for breaking hexes and cutting toxic cords. I'm using thyme because it clears blocks to abundance in particular. And abundance is not just about abundance of money. I say this all the time. I don't manifest a lot of money. But every stone, every crystal, and everything that you see that I have, I manifested, either as a gift or I found it someplace like a thrift store, super cheap. I don't manifest wealth, but I do manifest vibrationally in other areas. That's just how it rolls. What else did I have in here? Time and sage, which is, you should know what your sage is for. It's all about clearing your space and clearing yourself and setting up a sacred space. For the oil, I have you guys mixing mica in with your oil. I have one of my own hairs in there. Essence of Celeste. I'm going to have you guys putting mica in your oil today. Now you can use grapeseed oil, you can use mineral oil, or you can use basic extra virgin olive oil. I always say you don't have to be rich to practice magic. There's a reason kitchen witches are a thing. And the mica is all about reflection. You're going to be reflecting on who you were and who you are now and who you want to be while you're going into the future. So this is a long, hard look at self here about who it is you want to be. Because if you're genuinely going to release those lower frequencies, you have to fully be open to accept your higher self and to be able to show up as them without carrying all that weight. And that is what you're going to be putting on your spell petition. You're going to be putting whatever you're trying to release, whether it's, you can even put a place. You want to forget everything that happened in this place, or you want to release all trauma that happened in this place. You're ready to let that go. You're ready to let go all trauma caused by this person. It is not necessarily about forgiveness. It's about releasing yourself from it so whatever it is no longer has power over you. Because that's the biggest way we give away our own power all the time. What did I hear? I heard a reader say it earlier. It was something along the lines of, when you blame someone else, you're handing them all the power to resolve it. So the moment you can reflect on how everything happened and just reflect and own it. Own that you put yourself in those situations. Own that that was just your path, and own what you have learned from it, and own how strong you are for surviving it, and own these things. And let go of whatever power these places or events or people have on you. All right. So let's get started. Put our herbs on there and mix our, you do not need a whole lot of this. I'm telling you, tiny, tiny bit goes a very long way. You know, take your time and really think about how even the most unfortunate things somehow directed your path and led you right now to this person you are right now, this person you have been devoting yourself to through all of these rituals all year long. Every full moon you have worked on different aspects of yourself, different areas of your life, and you have just grown so much from it all. And there's things that have been happening that I'm sure you never imagined, and there is more to come. So own this adventure that you have created for yourself, and really release yourself to the wind, like the rising hot air balloon. Release it, release it. You can just imagine while you're doing your meditations, imagine you're in that basket and you're getting ready. You're filling it up with the air now. As you're letting the smoke rise, you're filling that balloon up with air. You're getting ready. And then think about what your sandbags are. Think about the people and events and moments you may regret, and things you may have said that came out wrong and caused a conflict. Let all that go. Let it all go and write all that down. When you're ready, take your candle. It's in the air. Bless it with the mica of reflection. Of how every good choice, bad or good, led you to this point where you can just really take time to work on yourself. Herbs of the earth. How you're going to ground this person into this reality and be this person and continue to keep showing up as this person that you've learned to love over the year. Then you'll take your candle. Well, you bless your petition. I always draw a pentacle. Goddess, earth, air, fire, water, blessed be all those who walk these magical paths with me. The herbs. Seal in your intent with the wax. I always do the 3 times fold, 3 times 3, make it be. And then release it all. Take time. You know, you're in your hot air balloon basket now. The balloon is filled up. The fire is starting to burn now. You're starting to feel it starting to lift. And now all those bags that you wrote down on your petition, cut them off. One at a time until you've released them all, and allow yourself to be carried off into the wind. When you're in a hot air balloon, you don't always get to pick where you're going to go. You can have an idea and you can guide it up and down, but what direction you go into, that's all up to the wind. So don't hold on to any specific directions. Just hold on to the fact that you're letting go and you're going to allow yourself to genuinely rise into these new vibrations and show up and be prepared to be who you are now and be comfortable and centered and grounded and balanced in the truth of who you are. Alright guys, if you like this, please click the subscribe button, comment, let me know what other things you guys are interested in. Next year, we're going to be featuring jar spells instead of fire petitions. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. I'll put all that in the information. I'll also put a link on how you guys can get private tarot readings in there. And yeah, blessed be all those who walk these paths with me. And I will talk to you next month.